Hello everyone, this is your chemistry teacher. Today we are talking about Unit 2, Session 14, the chemical bonding. Our objective in this is to understand the formation of covalent bond. Previously, we have seen that the atoms might share or exchange electrons in order to fulfill the octet rule. يعني الاتومز بدها تشارك أو تخسر أو تكسب electrons to behave as noble, to fulfill the outermost shell. Our lesson today is about covalent bonding, which is electron sharing. What is a covalent bond? A covalent bond forms between two non-metals when atoms share electrons. So the concept of covalent bonding is to share electrons, and it takes place between non-metals. يعني covalent bond هو مشاركة الإلكترونات. Both atoms need to gain electrons to become stable. Both atoms require to fulfill the octet rule. The stability is related to octet rule. So the 8 electrons in the outermost shell, therefore they share the electrons in order to fulfill the octet rule. يعني كل الاتومز بتشارك electrons لحتى تكمل الoctet rule اللي هو outermost shell 8 electrons, so that it behaves as noble. So atoms can share more than one pair of electrons. They can share more than 2 electrons. They can share 4 electrons. They can share 6 electrons to form a double and triple bond. For example, look at the chlorine atom. The chlorine atom has 7 valence electrons. There are 7 electrons in the outermost shell. عندها 7 إلكترونات برا. So بينقصها 1 electron. It is missing one and only one electron, so that both chlorine atoms will share 1 electron, or sorry, 2 electrons or 1 pair of electrons in order to fulfill the octet rule, to behave as noble. So that this Cl shared an electron with this Cl, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octet rule is fulfilled for both atoms, so that they are behaving as noble. They are sharing 1 pair of electrons, therefore we call it a single covalent bond. What about the oxygen? Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. Oxygen عندها 6 electrons بالoutermost shell, so that oxygen requires 2 electrons to fulfill the octet rule. Oxygen بدها 2 electrons, so that this oxygen will share an electron, and also it will share another electron to become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the other oxygen will share 2 electrons, so that we notice 4 electrons are being shared, or 2 pairs of electrons. These 2 pairs can be resembled by 2 dashes. فينا نحطهم بشكل 2 dash. هيدا a double bond. It is a double covalent bond. What about triple covalent bond? In this case, carbon has 4 valence electrons. كل كربون عنده 4 electrons بالoutermost shell, so بينقصها 4 electrons. So the carbon here is sharing 3 pairs of electrons, or 6 electrons. These 3 pairs make a triple bond, triple covalent bond. In conclusion, or as a summary, we notice that elements can share up to 3 pairs of electrons, 6 total electrons. Such an example, between this oxygen and hydrogen, 2 electrons are shared, 1 pair of electrons forming a single bond. Between these 2 carbons, 2 pairs of electrons, which are 4 electrons, are being shared, forming a double covalent bond. In the acetylene, 3 pairs of electrons, which are 6 electrons, are being shared between these 2 carbons, forming a triple bond. Thank you for your attention. This is the end of our session.